They're kind of interesting lists.
Like candy. No,
No,
like
she's
she's
in
in
Alaska.
See the 60-pound moose antler she posted? Where'd she go, a friend? I saw her on the sudden posting pictures, and I was like, she's in Alaska.
Steve showed us the eagle picture, and he's like, well, there's eagles or not. We see eagles.
What you doing, eh?
You can see her in a bunch of
Good enough.
You do.
That's a whole nother, that's a third topic. You just said.
Oh, yeah, okay. Good enough. Time being 7, can I get a call to order and roll call, please?
Elwick.
Here.
Cassinius.
Yep.
Parmenter.
Here.
Fluhop. Here. Raker.
Here.
Stark Mahood.
Here.
All right, y'all rise and say the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as written?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tammy, second by
Zach.
Zach. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, get a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Ryan, I second by Tammy. Anybody got any questions, comments, concerns? Actually, I didn't see anything that jumped out. Everybody got all their air conditioners now, so good with that.
Hope so.
I hope so, they're gonna have to last for the next 30 years.
I still need one. Yeah, Craig still needs one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
No, that-
Yeah.
All right, if there's no questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, now it's time for receiving file communication petitions and remonstrances. Anything? Anybody? All right, move on to committee reports. Did you open the work session, you wanna talk about it?
No.
All right, we had a little work session right before the meeting, we're kind of discussing the future of the rec center. Some other things to do with the park and rec, and also another little potential pocket park downtown. All said items are TBD. Anything else? Moving on, now it's time for citizen input. Council won't take any action on the public comments this meeting, but may do so at a future meeting. Please limit your presentation to 3 minutes. Anybody?
I actually have something, just as a citizen, not as a reporter. I'd like to give my 2 cents about the pocket park, if you don't mind.
Yep.
I know that's not necessarily meeting a need for kids, they have a lot of parks already, I know that. But there is a need for people who work downtown. They can't really move their car without losing their spot. They don't have time to move their car, go grab their lunch and have some peace and quiet in the sunshine. So it would be a place for that. I was definitely, and people at the courthouse would use it that way too. Sometimes when they break for session, they only got 15 minutes or something. It would be a nice spot for that. And serve a need that we have already, I think, so. That's all.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Are we not on Zoom?
Oh, yeah. Nobody else is out there on Zoom.
Okay. All right. No other citizens input? All right. No old business. Moving on to new business. Now I need approval of resolution approving parcel A plat of survey plat of lot 6, block 10, Fremont now. Benton County, Iowa, addition to the city of Benton, Iowa.
Motion. Second.
that even makes sense. If we do it now. Motion by Riley. Can I get a second?
No.
Seconded by Tammy. No, motion by
I
Tammy.
motion,
Yeah.
I motion. It's fine.
Seconded by you. Seconded by Riley. Sorry, my bad.
Because he was
You
distracted
drank
by
coffee over there?
Fremont
That's fine.
Alpinton.
Sorry, I
You guys don't give enough time, I was going to.
Okay. Anybody got questions on that? Roll call.
Husenius,
Yep.
Elwick,
Yes.
Fluhop,
Yes.
Parmenter,
Yes.
Raker,
Yes.
Stark Mahud.
Yes.
All right, now I need a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the mayor and the clerk to execute such documents as necessary to resign as trustee of the Virginia Gate Trust. To request that the court accept such resignation and to approve the amendment to the Virginia Gate will, as requested in the application of the Virginia Gate Hospital, Inc.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wes, second by Andrew. So basically what this does, Virginia Gay at one time said that the city of Benton needs to be a trustee at all times for the thing, and it's kind of become antiquated. And it's become more cumbersome. So they're gonna hope to remove them, but I thought that since they are one of the big three in Benton, that we should still have some representation on the board, so I made them keep that, whoever the mayor is shall be on the board for perpetuity. So, that's the only change. We just don't have to sign off and everything every month, so. Anybody got questions? Roll call.
Stark Mahud,
Yes.
Fluhop,
Yes.
Parmenter,
Yes.
Elwick,
Yes.
Raker,
Yes.
Husenius.
Yep.
All right. Item C, now I need a motion approval of resolution approving third amendment to tower and ground space lease between the city of Benton, Iowa landlord and USCOC of the Greater Iowa LLC tenant.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Andrew, second by Wes. Did he make it on?
He is here. Doug, can you hear us?
I can you hear me?
Yes.
That is Doug Herman, our city attorney online.
Hello, everyone. It's
Hi,
good
Doug.
to see
Well,
you.
they kinda gouged it up, man.
What's that?
They kinda redlined the crap out of it.
They sure did. And I think the copy I sent you, you should see some comments on the right side. That's what I sent back to them. There's a few things in there that I pointed out that I thought were appropriate, that I think the mayor at least had suggested. I don't know how much the council had talked about it, but one was a kind of a maintenance bond on the improvements or the alterations to the water tower. They struck that. We had some language in there. It's probably unlikely to come into play, but some language that said if your people come in and they start it and they leave, if we have to finish it, that you're going to pay us for that. Again, probably unlikely. But another option would be a performance bond instead, not just a maintenance bond. But so we got a couple of things there, and then we need to figure out what the city wants or what they want on term, how long this would last. And I thought what we had proposed and what their representative had agreed to is where we were headed, which was that once they started these alterations, the first of the following month would be the beginning of a 5-year term, and that there'd be an option for 3 renewals after that, I believe is how it read, which is a total modification of the remaining term of the original lease we're amending, which is fine. I thought the city is going to get in line for significantly higher rent. It's going to go up 2% a year, with them having some, 5-year renewal timeframes. That it wasn't a bad idea to extend it out a bit. So I don't know what he was thinking on that point, but yeah, some of the stuff he struck, I don't really care. I mean, I'm probably guilty of it sometimes too. When I'm looking at something somebody else drafted, I might word it differently than they did, but part of it is kind of funny. A good section of what he struck was in the amendment they originally proposed. So somebody from their end proposed some language in the amendment, and I kind of copied and pasted it over, then he struck it. So go figure.
Oh, he struck out our 2% increase.
Is that struck out of there? Because when in my comment, I put that back in anyway. I guess I didn't catch I think he was confused by the whole term and if it's renewing, not renewing, how many years. So,
Yeah, you put it back in your comment, but he has it struck out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, I guess this is gonna kind of continue on for a conversation, you know?
I didn't quite catch what you said there, bud.
This isn't settled, is what I'm saying.
Oh, no. I was kind of hoping that before tonight we might have it there. I guess the good news is at least I heard back from them and I replied to them with what you're seeing. So I guess you're kind of up to date and you can maybe give me a little feedback. For example, on the maintenance bond, is that real important to you? And you want me to kind of stick to our guns on that and demand that we get that? They are paying our engineer. They already paid $5,500 towards the estimated cost of having the engineer for the city review the plans and kind of observe the project. And if it ends up costing more than that, they'll pay more than that. So in light of the fact that we're gonna have the city engineer overlooking all of it and them paying that bill, does that give you enough comfort level to say in light of that, we don't care as much about the maintenance bond?
I really would like to ask the city engineer that question. How comfortable is he knowing that they're gonna
Oh.
put more bolts into a tower of a base and how,
Yeah, that's a good question. We could reach out and I guess if he says, yeah, if I'm on site and I can see what they've done and how they've done it, if he has a comfort level, maybe that's the sign because obviously in that tower, there are bolts holding it down and they're painted. So if they do this in a way that they apply the correct coatings over the new bolts that are installed, there really shouldn't be an issue. And I'm sure US Cellular's thinking, maintenance bond costs money, of course, and they're trying to limit some additional expenditure. And I don't know why I left out language that they were paying $12,000 for the work. That's kind of irrelevant, but they stuck it back in. I think they just want the city to know that they're spending money on it, which is fine. Doesn't hurt anything. So there's that piece, and then and the other part that I'm not terribly concerned about, but I'm surprised they are, is the language that kind of went into the explanation of if their contractors didn't finish the work and the city had to take steps to finish it, that they'd have some liability for that. Very unlikely, obviously, right? That whoever they hire is going to come in and drill a few holes and put a bolt or two in and then leave town. But stranger things have happened, I guess.
yeah, absolutely. But again, highly unlikely. I don't know if that'll be a deal breaker, but we gotta make sure that our engineer's comfortable with whatever they do.
Okay.
And if that precludes having to get a maintenance bond, then so be it, but he has
And then on the
okay.
the rental term piece, are you okay with how I explained it in my note, where we're kind of, and they did also the minor change here too, but he wanted their new term with the new rent to start after the alterations were done. And the way I worded it, because, well, one are the alterations done? I don't know. When they say they're done, we have to track that. If we just say on the first of the month following the commencement of the project, that's easy. Then if we know they're out there, they start in the middle of August, the new rent starts September 1. If it's when the alterations are done and complete, does that mean when they're done drilling holes and painting? Does that mean when they're done drilling holes and painting and getting all their new antennas on? And who decides that? Is it substantially complete? Do we have to have our engineer come out and say, yes, you are done now? Not a big deal, but it seemed to me a lot cleaner just to have more of a date certain. Whenever you start, the new rent will start the first of the following month. And then I guess the bigger question is, are you okay with the rental terms I proposed, which I think are consistent with what you've seen before, and I think you were okay with, which is a 5-year term, 2% a year, and then the renewal terms. So it could go out into 2043, I think is what it came out to about.
2044.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the council's okay with, but I'm okay with it. It's more money we were getting before, guaranteed the increase.
Yep, I'm okay with it.
Okay. Because I think the $2,500, the new rent right now, Melissa, remind me, I think the city's getting about $1,200.
Yes, 1210.
Yeah, so it'll be than double the rent. And, you know, what's a little hard to say is, you know, comparing apples to apples with other communities, but looking around at others and some comparisons, it's right in line with, I'll say, Monticello and Manchester, who both have some US Cellular antennas on the towers. Do they have the same number of antennas and the same type of equipment? Then you're really getting into the weeds, so I just kind of focused a little bit more on similarly sized communities who have recently updated lease agreements with US Cellular. So I think it's a, you know, I guess we could have argued for more, but I think it's right there in the mix of what they were paying other communities.
Well, I think in general, we're concurrent with your comments back.
Okay.
We'll just have to see what they say.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yep.
Yeah, and I would expect they'll get that pretty quick, so, I'll communicate with Chris and Melissa along the way if I keep you in the loop. And if we get to a point where it looks like we kind of have, where we think we have a deal, I'll get it out to everybody, so you can all take a look at kind of where we landed on some things. And I would say by the next agenda, hopefully, it'll be in a form that can be considered for approval.
So for current business, right now, we got a motion, a second on the table to approve the current amendments that US Cellular has sent back to us. So a yes vote means we accept them, and a no vote would mean that we are not accepting those terms, so. Roll call.
Stark Mahud.
No.
Husenius.
No.
Elwick.
No.
Parmenter.
No.
Raker.
No.
Fluhop.
No.
I think that is the first time we've had a full no vote since I've been here. I think so. Always
Well, we'll get it together and get it done, I think, easy in a couple weeks, so.
Thank you. Maybe. All right, perfect. I see you're hanging on.
Yep, I'll just hang out, I'll mute myself for now though.
All right. All right. Item D, now need approval of HVAC quote for the all temp refrigeration of the wastewater treatment plant.
Second.
Motion by Tammy, second by O'Reilly. So, the question on this. Have we actually talked to anybody that did a study to see what kind of air capacity it needs, or?
Yeah.
How, who?
Plum Supply engineered, they got the size of the building and everything else, and they did the calculations.
Okay, cause I was kinda concerned that we were just,
No. Not what he did.
I just didn't wanna dive into something that we spent $15,000 on and find out it didn't do what it was supposed to do.
I got it all, I made sure it was right.
Did you guys ever get out and meet on that?
We had a discussion about it. He told me where I was wrong and. I'm satisfied with it, so.
I had my opinion.
Alrighty. Anybody got questions on that then? And then we'll do a roll call.
I would ask for clarification, which of those quotes on there are you accepting?
Furnace or the air handler?
So,
The 10,572 or the 1275?
both items.
Both, gotcha.
Right.
No.
No.
Yeah, you're
You're,
saying
one is a
No.
furnace, one is
I thought
a
the one
furnace.
had to get added on the other.
One is a furnace and air handler, furnace and air conditioner.
That was
One
brought
is
up.
an air handler and air conditioner.
Yeah,
The furnace,
the air handler was my idea.
That's where you were wrong.
That's right.
no, you want an electric furnace.
Yeah,
So we're gonna do the furnace and the air conditioner.
that was what the.
That way they have a backup heat system in that building. If the boiler would ever go down, they don't have to scramble like we did when we put the boiler in
Lovely.
So the 12.
So we're, yeah.
The 12075.
Yes.
Is what we're, okay. Thank you.
Roll call on the 12075.
Parmenter.
Yes.
Elwick.
Yes.
Raker.
Yes.
Stark Mahud.
Yes.
Fluhop.
Yes.
Husenius.
there. Or should I abstain?
You need to abstain.
I don't own the company. I'm not even working for them right now.
moving on to item E, non-approval of special events application for the 2024 PS Homecoming Parade.
Motion.
Motion by Zach, seconded by Riley. Anybody got any questions on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on to item F, non-approval of special events application for the National Night Out.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Riley, seconded by Zach. Anybody got any questions on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
It's just, now I need a motion approval of special events application for the Benton Cruise.
Motion. Second.
Oh.
Oh.
It was cute that you both.
Motion by Wes, seconded by Zach.
Your matching photos.
Motion is seconded by the maroon couple.
That's a little too
Anybody got
far.
any
A little too
questions?
far.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, now I need motion approval of a special events application for the Pink Heels motorcycle bike or,
Motion.
motion by Tammy,
Second.
seconded by Andrew. Anybody got questions on that? You got a little flyer that, well, was it Ron? Tammy's
Stop
holding
at 10.
Yeah.
it. You wanna speak on it, or you good to
No,
go?
not really. We're just like, we're gonna try UTVs this year, whether or not we get it or not, I don't know. We probably won't take the full block, usually we just go up to the alley. So, we're just gonna head straight out down across the bridge, kind of to Brandon when we leave, so. We don't need
Fantastic.
special blocking or anything.
Anybody got any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on, now I need a motion to appoint Paul Seaton to the unexpired term to the Airport Commission in December 2026.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wright, second by West. I had 3 total applicants for that one. I did Paul because he is a veteran and I went with the veteran. So, nobody else put down that they were a veteran.
Any chance we could, who are the others?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
That's right.
Michael Myers
Yep.
and Larry Phelps.
Good job. And they all had very good qualifications. That's why I chose the veteran. So. All right. Boy, we're already reports already. I'll let you go first.
Alright. We've ended our fiscal year, so we're wrapping things up, getting ready for the next year, so my season of reporting starts. Street finance report and the consumer confidence report for the electric side, so, get rolling on those. Next meeting, I will have 2, policies, hopefully for your approval. The electric utility adopted them last week, a data breach response policy. In today's world, if we were to get hacked or something like that were to happen, and then just a formal disaster recovery plan. As far as responding to some sort of emergency, trying to continue operations as normal. So it's been passed by their board. I'd like you guys to approve it as well, so we'll bring that next meeting now that they've approved it.
That it?
That's it.
Lovely. Craig?
We're trying to get Third Street lift station, all the pipes replaced and at least get a good start tomorrow, so, the electric guys got them all cut and threaded for us, so see if we can get them all put back together, at least get one side running again, so. And then clarification, where are we setting on, the radios? Are we good to go with getting, city radios programmed? Did we ever?
I don't think we ever finalized that.
Never finalized that?
Because one time you said our current radios would work if you got them reprogrammed with our system. You guys didn't really care if you heard about anything from the sheriff's department.
Nope, I talked to Kevin and he says theirs are programmed and they can hear really good. Down to sub 69 out to the dump, so there's no problem with their radios after they've had them done, so. He was just wondering if we got the green light to go ahead and get ours going, or we need to get approval, I guess.
We better put that on the agenda next time. We'll get you next one, or next time.
And then the lights out to Anderson Creek, you're approved to buy them.
Yep.
Brad got a price on running electrical, new electrical to as many of them as needed, with some boring and some, not trenching, but knifing the wire in. And the electric guys would do all the labor other than those two things, and it's a pretty hefty bill. Do we need to get that approved, or just say go ahead and do it since we own the lights?
I think our deal was that we bought the lights, but the electric utility was gonna maintain them.
Correct, but but they do not have a boring machine to bore underneath sidewalks and driveways. They're going to try to knife in as much as they can. And the way that REC did the wiring, they just went from light to the closest transformer and the next, so it's all looped in with all the other electrical, so we need to separate all that so they can put it on a circuit. Buying of the lights was the cheap part, so unfortunately.
Well, this is back where that's all their maintenance. Shouldn't be our decision to make, it should be the electric utilities.
Good luck with that.
They sat right here and agreed to it.
They did not agree to pay for it because it's out of their jurisdiction. They're not making any money off of it. It's not their lights.
It is their lights.
I'm just passing the word on, so.
So what's the number?
Approximately $43,000.
Well, that has to get approval from everything.
Okay.
So, and when that gets split 90-10, we pay the 10, they pay the 90, since they agreed to it, it's not a bad deal for us.
Between you and Kevin.
Bam, they gotta have it, he's gotta.
Right, so, okay, we'll get it on next month's, or next week's, or 2 weeks, next council meeting. Thank you.
We're gonna bring them a whole hog, they don't have a guy with a boring machine to have to do all that.
Unless there's a cheaper way of doing it, but
That is
I mean,
cheaper.
you gotta go underneath the driveways and sidewalks, try to, not tear up as many yards as what you can, so. Yeah, if there's, somebody that's cheaper,
I don't know who they get a quote from.
Hoffman and Hoffman, I think.
There's a lot of boring guys out there that do that little tiny stuff super cheap.
I'll get a hold of a guy that does some of our water lines to see what he would charge for that.
I think give you Joe Cruiser's number.
You have it, but.
I think they did once. Oh yeah, I know he's got a mini boring machine, he just loves doing that little tiny stuff.
Does he have a knife too?
Who's
You know,
Pickering,
run a knife.
who's Pickering use up at Kenny? And they bore that?
That bill. Yeah, that's the guy I was gonna get with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's your-
Yeah.
Okay. All right, chief, you got,
Well, we got through, Party in the Park, also, talked a little bit about Fourth of July, fireworks, in town. I don't think, we had any injuries in the fireworks, so that's a good thing. I think you guys passed a, activities, application for, National Night Out, that'll be August 6th, 5 through 7 p.m. So, encourage everybody to attend, and just kind of a community relations type of activity. So, I want to talk to you guys about the Don Martin Shelter. We take my officers usually take the responsibility of making sure those are unlocked for inclement weather. The locks or mechanisms are becoming cumbersome, and prior to our EMA director retiring, just talked to Scott about possibly having a them unlocked all the time, during the summer, but we have people that, will harbor themselves in the shelter. Get into our cabinets and everything else, so. If we could, possibly consider going to that type of, setup, I can get, some prices for you guys. I know we've got wireless, or not wireless, fiber out there, I believe we do. So that would be a benefit to go that route.
Yep, I like it.
Yep,
That's all I have.
lovely. Nobody else here.
Is there anything on Zoom?
What's that?
Is there anyone on Zoom?
No, just Doug.
Doug. All right, I don't got anything for you. Good and welfare?
This week.
You would never guess whose crock it was. Axel's. Found it on Second Ave. It was just there. I took a picture of it. No,
My nephew.
Oh.
it was actually my next door neighbor. So I found it on Second Ave, a ways from the house, and took a picture of it, put it on Facebook, and ended up being my neighbors. So
Here, I thought we were talking about a crocodile.
it was camel color. It was kind of hard to see.
You put a cute little ad out there. It's not little.
All right, so now, open it up yet. Now, we're gonna move into closed session pursuant to Iowa Code 21.5, parent 1, parent C, to discuss strategy with counsel on matters that are presently in litigation or where litigation is imminent, where its disclosure would be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the position of the governmental body in that litigation. So I need a motion.
Motion.
Go in. Motion by Zach, seconded by Ron, to move into closed session. Can I get a roll call, please?
Elwick,
Yes.
Vasinius,
Yep.
Parmenter,
Yes.
Fluha,
Yes.
Raker.
Yep.
Stark Mahut.
Yes.
All right, we'll take about a 5-minute break while we clear the chambers and we'll move into that session. So, thank you, everybody.
Not mine,
But I just wanna let you know, last year when we did that Pink Hills ride, last year we did the Pink Hills ride, they wrote out 3 separate checks for 3 different people for $1,000 help pay the bills. That's this ride does, raise money for that. So we helped out 3 people for $1,000 each, so.
Perfect.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much.
20 minutes before I got here and said, dude, gray cargo shorts, maroon shirt,
Yeah.
ball cap with DS and sandals. And I said,
Exactly.
I was thinking the same thing, but.
You can't be.
I just got a
I
prescription
can't
for
invite you
glasses
to be
too,
on this
so
since
I
you're
went out
working.
for glasses the other day.
You know,
Those are out too.
You wanna close that door though?
Maybe not. Has a lock on it, right?
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, we gotta shut that off.
Get it, yeah. You're good.